microphone for the software. This is how I live till they end up in my coffin.
All right, guys, welcome back to Red Top Report. I got a gigantic surprise for all you guys. You're not even ready for this. We're fighting the culture war through rhymes. And who I got sitting here with me right now is the Catholic rapper, the traditional Catholic rapper, Enoch. Welcome to the show, Enoch. It's great to have you out here. I want to kind of jump off by saying, you had just released a new album. Am I right about that?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, just last month, Deus Vult.
Oh, I listened to the whole thing, and there was so much good content through all of it. But just to kind of jump into the discussion right off the bat, there's some really important questions that I have to ask, because there's these people out here, and I'm very, very, very suspicious of these people. There's these rap haters. Is this true? Do these people actually exist that'll go out and say the beats themselves are demonic, and they're out to get you? So I guess my first question is, which demon are you worshiping?
Which demon? Well, I'm actually one of those guys. I think hip hop is just demonic, intrinsically evil, and you should never be listened to. And I worship the demon of hip hopism, and he's actually not very well known, but he's been exercised to a bunch of people a lot of times, especially with Father Ripperger. So absolutely, yeah.
What's his name?
His name is JC. I don't know what's called.
It's okay. So here's my next question. What do you say to the people out there that be like, oh my gosh, Enoch just looks like a more muscular and in shape DJ Khaled?
That's kind of funny. A little bit more calm too. He's a little bit sporadic. I don't have his money though. I'll tell you that. He's got a more muscular bank account than I do. But DJ Khaled, he's not a rapper. DJ Khaled, I don't even know what he does, to be honest with you. He just.
Do you consider it rap when he goes DJ Khaled? DJ Khaled at the beginning of his videos? Is that rap?
We the best.
We the best.
He's man, that guy cracks me up. I don't even know what he does, to be honest with you. He just gets a bunch of people. He's like the coach.
Would you say
a bunch of people together?
Would you say though that all you do is win?
All I do is win. That's right. I mean, how can I not? All I do is win, right?
No matter what.
Christ conquered the cross, he conquered sin 2,000 years ago. So I'm already winning. So
fascinating. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I think I'm a little less suspicious of you than I was at the beginning of this interview, just so you know. At first I was like, this guy must be like he must be a devil worshiper because he speaks over online beats that he has created. And that was my initial concern, is that, what could be more demonic than, on the rhythm. You can't have that.
What's more demonic than rhythm? Yeah, absolutely. No, I hear you. But you know what? And you have the absolute right to be suspicious. The fact that I'm trying to infiltrate the church through hip hop and using content that is specifically traditionally Catholic. But those beats, man, got to be careful with those beats because they'll get you. I what was it? I think Our Lady of Fatima said, "Souls who go to hell mostly are the ones who go listen to hip hop." So.
Yeah, no, I think that's Alphonsus Liguori, but I can't. I can't be quoted on that one. Now, just to kind of get into our main discussion here.
Yeah.
The first question I have from you, and I got it right here on the official Red Top Report note cards. I love these things, very fancy. Yeah. It says, "Where does the name Enoch come from?"
Oh, good question. Actually, the name Enoch, the way I spell it is E-K-N-O-K, Enoch, which means eternity knocks. That's where the whole thing comes from. Eternity knocks, whether it's heaven or hell. Eternity knocks every single day. It's a play on words with the prophet Enoch as well. So that's where the inspiration came.
Yeah. So, what are your thoughts on the book of Enoch?
What are my thoughts?
Yeah.
Is inspired by the Holy Ghost.
I love it. I love it. That's great. Very Catholic of you to say so. No, yeah. I mean, and then my next question is like, what you recently released your album Deus Vult. Like I said, I listened to the whole thing. There's quite a few songs that I liked. There was the one song Fatherhood that I felt was just especially powerful. But what was your favorite song on the album?
My favorite song on the album was probably Temptation, which is kind of closer to the bottom of the, if you get down, I believe it's number 13. And Temptation was, what I did is I took the screw tape letters from C.S. Lewis. A lot of people are familiar with that. What he did is screw tape and Woodworm. You got the higher demon trying to teach the lower demon and how to tempt people. And C.S. Lewis trying to get into their heads and trying to figure out the temptation process. What I did is I took that in a rap form, and I have this demon teaching a class on how to tempt a single person, a married couple, a seminarian, and the priests. So there's about 4 verses on there. There's no hook. It's just straight bars, and it's got a cool message.
Now, speaking of bars, I think I know you're the only like traditional Catholic rapper out there right now. You're like cornering the market.
Is that right?
But I do think that I want to give you a run for your money a little bit right now. Maybe a little rap battle sort of sorts going on in here right now. Do you mind if I spit some bars for you? I'm just gonna do it off the top, as you guys would say.
Off the top. Go ahead, freestyle for us,
off the top.
Off the dome, what they say.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm repping for the Catholic Church against all the demons that lurk. Yeah. Okay. There's bar number 1. I love to not be a jerk because when you're not a jerk, there's special perks.
Okay. Bar number 2.
All right. And then we the best. All I do is win. DJ Khaled.
Okay.
I think like can we agree taking over the industry?
You're on your way.
When am I getting the feature? When am I getting the feature, Enoch? I need to be on the album. I'm on the next album, aren't I?
Third, absolutely.
Okay, I've been waiting for this. I needed to, this is the type of exposure I've needed, Ronan. I've been telling people I'm not a podcaster. I'm a rapper. I'm a gangster rapper. On top of it, I'm a gangster for Jesus Christ.
No, you are. I mean,
absolutely. I am. What do you think? What is this chain? What is this chain? This is my industry. We're gonna do that. Enoch. No diss tracks. Okay. All right.
No, not for me.
All right. Awesome.
That was good. That was not bad.
I'm trying. I'm really trying hard. I think I have a future.
I think you earned yourself a spot on the next album.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you. I am so excited. It says the next thing I ask is there any genre of music that you do believe is actually inherently evil?
Intrinsically evil? No. I don't think there's any genre of music that is intrinsically evil. I think there's degrees of music that could affect the person's passions, and you have to be more careful. Even with hip hop, I think if you have somebody who has enough virtue over music to put it down when necessary, you could consume it in moderation. People would say, heavy metal, screamo type of music. It's not intrinsically evil in itself, but it does it does pin the passions against each other, against one another, in a more extreme way than other music would, I guess you would say. But intrinsically evil, no, I don't. You can't have that because it's just a medium. It's not evil in itself.
I think that's interesting too, because I think screamo is a good example because it's so often associated with satanic imagery. And
correct,
yeah, and its association may be that, and its sounds may indicate, some level of anger or violence of some kind. But I feel like a lot of trads will fall into this trap, right? And the trap that they'll fall into with this music is that anger and violence is always wrong, right? This idea that anger and violence are always wrong. So it's not even possible for you to write let's say a screamo song that would be inherent, that isn't inherently evil. But you can't write it righteously. Is that, you know what I mean? You can't write a screamo song that is righteous. There's no instance in where anger and violence could necessarily be moved towards righteous ends.
Sure.
Like I think we should be violently against sin. I think that we should be angry that sin exists.
Correct. Yeah. No, there's such thing as just anger. St. Thomas talks about it. There is a such thing as just anger, of course, and if you can communicate that through music, that can attract someone. Again, I guess it depends on the person's disposition. If someone's passions are just kind of messed up, and that kind of music is going to arouse the passion, and the unjust anger of the song loses its message, and the person becomes angry because his passions are disordered, you have to be careful there. But of course, that's a discernment for each individual.
So you think that music then is just something that can be used to provoke action, and what that action is up to the individual listener and how often they listen to it. That's what it sounds like to me.
Yeah, music in itself, because music comes from within man, it mimics the faculties of man, the three faculties: the intellect, the will, and the emotion. The perfect music that I guess is a perfect simulation of that faculties is going to be classical and chant. And then you have other ones, because, I mean, if you think about it, rap music is a cousin to rock music, which is a cousin to jazz music. And that's where it all comes from. And jazz music, is syncopated, which means it doesn't follow the order. So if someone has disordered passions to the point where, the music affects them, I would say, as a person should discern whether they should listen to this or listen to it in moderation, like I do. I listen to hip hop moderation. I listen to hip hop at the gym, provided that, because that's what it's really made for. You got the rhythm and the beat, the drums. It's really just to get the passions going so you can lift.
Absolutely.
When I'm listening to 90s hip hop, I can lift much better than if I was listening to that. So I encourage people, and it's the same thing with television, brother. People will say, this music is intrinsically evil. It's just a medium. You would say the same thing about TV. Is TV evil? No, in moderation, it could be a good thing.
Yeah, it leads me to it just reminds me of the example of the metal band Metallica.
Yeah.
Metallica would be a band that has a song that talks about something righteous. It's off of the Ride the Lightning album. It's called Creeping Death. It's literally just the story of the Exodus.
Now let my people go, land of Goshen. Now I will be with thee, with your fire.
Which is a very angry and violent part of the scripture. God sent the angel of death to come over the Egyptians and kill their firstborn sons because he was displeased. He was angry that they were that they were enslaving his chosen people.
That's an excellent point.
And what better medium to communicate the story of the Exodus than heavy metal? Now, then, on the other hand, you can think of a band like Slayer, where you literally have a satanic pentagram and talking about, dragging as many souls to hell as you can, or whatever slew of things you can think of that come out of it. So there really is a dichotomy there. But I kind of want to shift directions a little bit and talk just a little bit more about what's actually on the album. Now, you have one song on there that's called "That Ain't Catholic." Mm-hmm. I think we've all heard that before. It says you call out the bishops in this song. I want you to I was wondering if you could expand on that a little bit, just so I can, because this is something that we're really passionate, about here.
Sure. No, and something that I'm passionate about too. I do call out the bishops only in a very charitable way, because I do say on there, take solace. I have no disrespect to your office, because I do respect the office, and I would, I wouldn't slander their office in public or even anywhere. But the fact that, like when we look around us, if the new springtime has been so great, we're in a decline almost in every category in the church. In the category of believer, people believe in the real presence in seminaries, in convents, Catholic schools. How many teenagers go through confirmation and just walk out and never come back again? I mean, it's been a decline, and it's like a lot of us are calling on these bishops saying, like, you're the shepherd, you're supposed to lead us here. But they seem to be asleep at the wheel at the moment, and veering us off the cliff. So it's just it's a song where I kind of tickle the ear of the clergy and say, hey guys, we need more direction. And then my Elijah comes on in the second verse, and he's kind of talking more towards the laity and their relationship to the shepherd. So it's called "That Ain't Catholic."
Yeah, I love that. I love the hook too, because you go through each individual thing. That ain't Catholic. That ain't Catholic. You know the lyrics better than I do, but it's I remember that in the hook. I was like, oh, I see what he's doing. He's flipping the script. You know what I mean? And I thought that was honestly it was powerful, when you flip their own words against you, because they'll say, they'll say supporting low taxes ain't Catholic because you're called to help the poor or something like that. You hear that all the time in reference to, how you're doing things wrong from somebody who doesn't even believe in God to begin with. They don't even believe in God to begin with. You're going to tell me how to be a better Catholic? Yeah. Okay, buddy. Okay, buddy. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. It's just like, I don't believe in your God, but I'm going to tell you the standards that your God has for you. Yeah. You don't know them.
Right.
You don't know them.
It's so true. Yeah, that's so true. They assume the Catholic, they assume the Christian moral principles, and then deny Christianity completely, which is kind of funny. It's like you're contradicting yourself here. Yeah, it's kind of funny.
Yeah, it's just something. Yeah. It's just something that's like ever present, especially online. When everybody all of a sudden loses their filter. I imagine if some of these leftists were standing face to face with you, and you were probably looking down on them, like you were probably about to destroy them with words and intimidate them with your knowledge of the faith, that they probably wouldn't be saying that as loudly.
You mean like the song "Patriarchy"?
Oh, I love that song. There's something about that song that really just fires me up. It's been a let's just say it's been a heavy influence on my inspiration to do this show.
Oh,
as it is our theme music for our theme song for those that are watching that don't know. Patriarchy, Enoch. I mean, this is what I'm talking about. We can't before there was Enoch, I wouldn't know what to put as my theme song. There's nothing socially relevant out there with a Catholic tune that reaches out to everybody else, which is exactly the point of Red Top, which is why we said we have to have an Enoch song as our intro. And then we looked at all of them, and we were like, this is the one, which kind of brings me to this next point. Why should people listen to Enoch over other Christian artists? Why is Enoch the best one?
I appreciate that. So I would say, as far as Catholic hip hop goes, or just hip hop that's not secular, I think when we stream artists, and you guys had a good bit on that a while ago, talking about how if you're giving all this money to secular artists, that just feeds the machine to put out more music that's contrary to our creed. And what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to say, now listen, we have enough talent in the Catholic world. It's not just Enoch. You have the Foundation. They're my favorite Catholic group out there, and there's 5 guys. They're incredibly talented. Together, they're great. And I'm just trying to highlight the fact that you got yourself too. You're not bad yourself, man. I've heard some of the stuff. You got great speed. You got great cadence. You got a great voice, and you can do multiple genres of music. So I appreciate what you do.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
And I'm thinking to myself, like, we have the talent to compete with these guys lyrically in production. And if we put ourselves out there, and it used to be one of those things to where there was always this contract between the artist and the listener. And the listener would say, listen, I'll give you my attention. Just don't give me any cheesy content just because it's about Jesus. And the artist would say, I'll give you good content as long as you give me your ears. So that's what I'm really trying to do. I'm trying to put production, lyricism behind it, good cadence, good melody, good music, and with good content, and say, hey, I need you guys to kind of uplift these Catholic artists so that we can compete with these secular and I guess you could say Protestant rappers.
Yeah.
And it's not even, it's like, okay, if you can't go out there and spend $8 on the album, stream it for free on Spotify, stream it at no cost on YouTube, just get us up there so that we could compete with these guys. And that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to reach out to more people so we could, get Enoch's name or Foundation's name or your name next to little, God knows what the name's got.
Little demon.
Little demon, little.
How much do you want to bet that that's a real rapper? And
Probably.
we're going to cut at this point in the interview at some point to the guy named Lil Demon, because I know for a fact that he's out there, and we're gonna make fun of him in a snippet. So that's gonna happen. Yeah, we'll find him. He definitely. You and I both know that definitely exists. That definitely exists.
Absolutely.
If you ain't 56th Street, tuck your chain. We ain't harming no snitch. Ain't lame. Top and make a dance like a little saint.
And that just kind of shows just how much the industry has really degraded itself, just as a whole. Yeah. And I really do think that now is really the time, if there's any time, for independent artists to finally come out, to finally put their spin and flavor on things. Christian music has been absolute trash for decades.
Jesus is a friend of mine. Jesus is my friend.
It's all it's talked about is I love Jesus over and over again. It's like, yeah, we know we love Jesus. There's more to the faith than that. We're warriors. We fight for justice. We fight for Christ. We put on the armor of God and go out into the world to spread the gospel. You know what I mean? That's what we're out here doing. And that's what you're out here doing. And that's one of the things I said. That's what I appreciate about what you're doing. And more importantly, this really highlights a call to masculinity, specifically the type of hip hop that I see you doing. There's a call to masculinity in there. You have fatherhood. You talk about the family. I mean, one of your songs is literally called Fatherhood. So, you have Real Man, you have Patriarchy. It's all highlighting Catholic masculinity. Right. Why is that so important?
Well, you lose masculinity in its truest sense, which is, I think there's a bit of misunderstanding of what masculinity really is, or what manhood really is. It's the interior discipline to always, I guess, it's interior discipline to live life of virtue that is always willing the greater good within reason. And I think when men lose that, society itself falls, because society is built up ultimately through strong men. The way our brain works, the way our bodies are, we're built to build things. We're built to innovate. We're built for strength and for leadership, for providing and protecting. And when you have a strong male figure who's learned to die to himself on situations to where he wills the greater good for the other person, regardless of what he gains out of it or loses. When you have that, what ends up happening is a lot of people will put themselves under that person's mission, and that person leads. This is why, again, that in Catholic, I'm asking these bishops, like, you're men. God only chooses men to become clergy. And there's a reason that we want to put ourselves under your mission and lead us. But if you're leading us off the cliff, we have a problem here. So if you don't have good masculinity, if you don't have patriarchy and masculinity and fatherhood, it diminishes the family, and then it diminishes society, because society is built up by family. So men are the anchor. They're really the ones that get everything going.
Yeah, I think you're right. I mean, there's a certain call And this is what's so interesting about men, and it's kind of just so beautiful how God, designed us. We're able to be leaders while also being obedient, right? We're the obedient leaders, right? We must serve. Our entire lives are devoted to service.
Yeah.
So this is what a lot of Catholics, I think, secular, more secular Catholics, more modernist Catholics, whatever you want to call them, don't seem to understand that our family, our church is designed off of the family. We're a hierarchical institution.
Correct.
And every level of the hierarchy serves to some extent a different number of people and different people. And being in leadership, it's a call to virtue. It's a call to responsibility. It's a call to all these are all masculine traits. I'm obviously obedient to, I'm obedient to the Pope. I'm obedient to my bishop. I'm obedient to, my priest's guidance. I'm obedient to my conscience. I'm obedient above all else to God. We're all serving. We're in a role of service. But in my family, and let's say I'm married, I'm a leader.
Correct.
It's just always been so profound to me.
I like that. It's beautiful. Beautifully said. Yeah.
So I want to wrap up with one last question. And I think that this is what everybody really has on their mind right now. What projects are coming in the future? Besides my feature, what else is coming in the future?
When I first started, I said I was going to put out 2 albums and stop. So I put out Tradiciones. I got to work with Deus Vult immediately. With Tradiciones, I had made about 20 to 21 songs, and about 13 of them made the album. Like a normal artist. That's what artists do. They make about 60, 70 songs and pick 12 out of those to put them on the album. With Deus Vult, I made 16 tracks for a 16-track album. Like, I didn't make any extra songs, so every song needed to count. Because it does get expensive making songs that you're not going to put in the album. It's like, okay, there's a waste there. So what I really wanted to do was put out a 16-track album and go for 16 for 16. I wanted to make sure every song was a semi-hit or a hit itself. So that's what I really wanted to do. So I took more time. And then I told my wife, I was like, okay, I think that's it. But then between my friends and some of the other folks who were messaging me saying, you got to make more. You need to make more. So the fact that the people are asking for more albums, I'm in the works with the third one. And then I've got maybe about 5 tracks right now started on this next one.
Really? Any inside info that you want to let everybody know? Any sneak peeks?
Yeah, there's this one song. There's 2 songs I'll share. In my first album, Tradiciones, on the second song called "Looking for My Baby," that song is about this guy's girlfriend has a change of heart. They're living a promiscuous relationship. She finds the traditional Latin mass, and she wants him to join her in faith and to live, to get married. But he's not ready. So he's looking for his old, girlfriend to come back and to leave the faith for him. And so that was the whole point of the song. On this next album, I have the song where it's reversed, where like you have this guy who finds a TLM, but the song is called Novus Ordo Chick. And no disrespect. I love the Novus Ordo. I love a Reverend Novus Ordo. I go to the Church Latin Mass. I go to a local Novus Ordo on whole days of obligation and dealing. So I got nothing against Novus Ordo. It's a valid mass. Absolutely love it. But when I say a Novus Ordo chick, I'm talking about somebody who just kind of like likes to clown masses, doesn't really take the faith seriously. Yeah. He's just kind of got one foot in, one foot out.
Church of Nice.
Thing. Yeah, exactly. So he's kind of like, he's trying to make this relationship work, but it's not really working. So that's what the song is about. And then there's another song on there. It's got this really crazy Prince 80s type beat melody to it. It's like Prince and Justin Bieber put together. It's kind of unique. Yeah. And it's a date night song for couples, for like married couples.
I love that. That's so cool. And
it's chivalrous. Yeah. It's like, open the door type thing, put the jacket on her type thing. So it's a sweet song for married couple, because married couples need date nights.
Oh yeah.
And
they don't have any music to listen to anymore either, because it's all written by degens and Satanists and pagans, whatever you want to call all those disgusting people in Hollywood. I mean, I don't know. No, we need wholesome Catholic music out there. We need we need music that beats the war drums of the spiritual war that we're trying to fight, and most importantly, we need to, in everything that we do, including the music that we listen to, undergird everything that we do with faith. And I really do think that that's what you're doing. And I commend you for that. I really do. I commend you for that. I think that you're doing great work. I think that this is the type of thing that the church needs. And just to wrap up, is there anything else you'd like to add?
If you don't mind me saying this, again, I go back to streaming the music. That's gonna catapult us into an area where we could really start reaching other people, because algorithms work nowadays. So we wanted to make sure that for all these algorithms and all that stuff. So we want people to stream the music, stream it on YouTube, stream it on, or if you think $8 for a 16-track album is a good cost, download it on Amazon or on Apple, because then what that's going to do is kick back enough funds for me to start my third projects to give you guys more music. And not only myself, whoever's putting out music, Foundation, like I said, the group that I told you about, they're working on another project too. So I can't wait for that to come out. Or is to support you for what you're doing too, and support Red Top. Put your money, cancel your Netflix and your Hulu, because they're putting out movies and videos that are contrary to our creed, and support Red Top, Church Militant, and support these groups, because they're putting out content that are actually, pertains to salvation. That's my message.
And that's such a great message. All right, Enoch, it was so awesome having you on. We'll probably have you on again, because I sense music coming in the future. I do. I sense that. I sense it. And every time there's new music, we really do. We really want to promote this type of stuff, because we need to permeate the culture with Catholicism the same way the Marxists permeated our culture.
Yes.
We're not going to stand for it. We're coming back. The church is back, boys. We're out here. We're coming back, and you can't stop us. It's never going to stop. It's inevitable that we win in the end. It's inevitable. You cannot win, Satan. You cannot win, Marxists. We will not stop. And then, Enoch, with that said, we're going to wrap up this Red Top Report. I'm your host, Joe Enders. Be sure to click the subscribe button. Be sure to follow us on Instagram. Be sure to follow us on Twitter. Hit up all those social medias. And with that said, guys, God bless and have a good one.